Hey everyone, hi, welcome back to my channel. I've been meaning to do this video for a minute. I wanted to talk about all the reasons why I love my Kindle. And so if you're new to my channel, then hi, I'm Shelly. I love books and reading. I love my Kindle. And if that is your jam as well, you love books and reading, I would encourage you to subscribe, stick around, and without any further rambling on, let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. I have a Kindle Oasis. I have a Kindle Oasis, a Kindle Paperwhite Oasis. Oh, I should know what I have. I have a Kindle Oasis. I think that's what it's called. If that is incorrect, I will flash something across the screen. It is the Paperwhite screen, and what that means is that it is actually quite lovely to read. It has a screen that doesn't give you much glare when sunlight is hitting on it. It is there so that it is comfortable to read in really bright and mostly outdoor situations. It's comfortable to read it outdoors and indoors. And the Kindle Oasis actually has buttons. And what I love the buttons on my Kindle Oasis. I just love it. And we have had a Kindle Paperwhite before, one where you have to click the side of the screen in order to flip the page. Not click, you had to tap the side of the screen in order to flip the page. And this rather is one where you have to click the button in order to flip the page, or you can tap the side of the screen, or you can go in and disable the tapping screen function and flip the pages just with the buttons, which I have used before when I am working on reading faster. And so sometimes I will use my finger in order to track where we're reading, where I'm reading. Where I'm reading. And so I disable the touch screen on this Kindle in order to read the words quickly, and sometimes I track faster than I'm able to vocalize in my head, and so I can actually read it faster. And then go, and then I flip the pages with the buttons instead, which is a lovely feature of the Oasis. But in general, one of the reasons why, I've given you a couple of reasons already, or I've given you a bit of an overview of the Oasis. I love that this is comfortable to read indoors and outdoors. I love that it has this Paperwhite screen that minimizes glare on the screen of it. I love the buttons. I much prefer it to my Kindle Paperwhite, and I love so much more about it. One of the things I absolutely adore about my Kindle is that books are readily available to me if I am willing to pay the price, or if somebody kindly gifts a Kindle book to me, which has happened more recently than not. In the past year, I've gotten more Kindle books, Kindle gifts, Kindle ebook gifts, or ebooks. I've gotten more ebooks, I think that's what I was searching for, as gifts than I have ever in my lifetime, and it feels like it's just so marvelous. It's so wonderful to have a wide and a glorious array of books to choose from on my Kindle. Now, if there is a book that I am particularly wanting to read, I love that I can find it on the store, on the Kindle store, or online, and I'm able to download it at a price sometimes, or if I can find a free copy and get it emailed to my Kindle through a PDF. If I'm talking gibberish to you, basically the idea is that most, if not all, the books I've ever wanted to read have been available on my Kindle, and if I'm willing to buy it or to do the work to get it onto my Kindle, it's there. And I think that is magic. That is like the magic of technology. I, as a little girl, if you would have told me that any book I could have possibly wanted in my heart, in my reading heart, would be available to me on a screen or on a device or on this magical thing called a Kindle, I would have been like, what are you talking about? You're talking magic. Are you from Harry Potter? Seriously. So one of the wonderful things about this is that there are just so many books available to a reader, and they're there in an instant, basically. I also love that I can read this at night without a nightlight. It has its own, glowing feature. So it lights up and it's just so comfortable. I love reading a few pages. Typically, I'm just so exhausted at the end of the day. I'm a mother. I am about to start the teaching year because I'm a teacher. And I'm just one of those people who's just exhausted at the end of the night. And so, but I do love to read a little bit. And sometimes I read more, sometimes I'm more awake and I'll read a few more pages than I had anticipated. But I love to read in order to put myself to sleep. And with this, it's so nice because I don't have to, once I'm at that sleepy stage, once I'm in that dozing moment, I don't have to go over and reach and turn off my my bedside table lamp. I can just click this off or shut the cover and it will shut off, and then I can go to sleep. It's so convenient. I love that. I also love to snuggle with the covers over my head and read, and it gives that same feeling. And Gina reminded me of this. Gina Stanier at Gina Stanier Books. She reminded me that it's very reminiscent of childhood to snuggle up under your covers and to be reading your book with your flashlight underneath the covers and just trying to get those extra pages in. And so it's giving me that same like childhood feeling to have my Kindle underneath my covers as I'm reading, which I really, really love. Another thing I really love, and I do actually quite often, is change the font size that I'm reading. So you can make the font bigger or you can make the font smaller. I tend to like quite small font actually. But I know that there are a lot of readers whose eyes have seen a lot of things and might be a bit tired. And so the font, being able to change the font to a larger size has been so wonderful. Something I rarely do, but I know that I am able to do it, is change the type font. So if you prefer sans serif font or if you prefer a serif font, then you can go in and change it, which is really wonderful. There is a normal reading mode where there is a lighter background and darker text. And then there's also a mode in which it is night mode. So a dark background with white text, and it has a more cozy feel to it. I do use that feature quite often. You can change the brightness on it, you can make it duller, and I definitely use that feature as well because I make it brighter. I make my Kindle brighter during the day, especially if I'm competing with natural daylight. And I make the screen darker at night when I'm kind of wanting to get that sleepy feeling and wanting to fall asleep with that. I love the size of, I really do love the size of my Oasis. It's a little bit wider than the Paperwhite. It's a little bit wider than a pocket paperback, which I actually have, so I'll show you. So here is an old Agatha Christie paperback, and it's a little bit, if you can see, it's a little bit wider than a pocket paperback. And I would say that the Kindle Paperwhite originally was more like this size, like the size of a pocket paperback. This is a little bit wider, and I actually quite like it. I don't like, this is not about the Kindle, this is about the publishing industry, but they're making paperbacks wider almost to retroactively fit or seem like it's the more of a boxy shape like the Kindle. It's almost like they're reverse engineering books to seem like a Kindle, and I don't like that. I like the pocket paperback editions. I like that sort of narrow, tall, something that you could easily sort of shove in the back of your pocket if you so choose. And I don't really like the wider, more square versions of books that are coming out more recently. But I do love the size and shape of this Kindle. And I will say, as just kind of like a preference thing, I have been finding myself wanting to reach for my Kindle more than anything else. I don't know what it is. I have just been really, really enjoying reading on my Kindle, and it's been like that for several months. I have been choosing to buy, or someone will kindly email me a version of a book that I have on paper, and I would rather pick up the Kindle version. I own The Other Boleyn Girl by Philippa Gregory. That I have it in the book version, like the paper version, but I find myself, I bought it on my Kindle, and I find myself picking it up on my Kindle, and that's how I've been preferring to read it. There's just something really, really nice about it. There are some drawbacks to the Kindle. I don't really want to get into them today because this is more of like my love letter to my Kindle, but I just really, really love it. Now, I love my paper books. I love my paper books. I am somebody who I just love all forms of reading in all different ways. But I have been meaning to, since I have been in a love affair with my Kindle for the last several months, I've been meaning to make a bit of an update video of just all of the things that I do. I love about the Kindle. I throw it in my bag. It's easy to take around. There's the charge on it lasts for a really, really long time. Although less so, if I'm reading it every single day for an hour or more, it seems to last anywhere between 7 to 10 days. But it charges ridiculously fast. And it's just, and that's, you know, typically like daytime reading too. So I'm like, it's like super bright, you know, I'm like turning the brightness up on this. If you kept it very dull, if you kept it very, very subdued, and you perhaps read only at night, it would probably last like twice as long as I make the battery last. But, you know, it's very, very easy to charge. I carry a rather small bag with me, a small purse, and it's just so easy to check this in there in case I'm worried that there's going to be any downtime. Yes, I'm one of those people who likes to keep a book with me at all times, just in case there's a little bit of downtime. I'm always worried that I'll be bored somewhere and I didn't bring my book, and this relieves a lot of anxiety. It's easy to travel with. You can keep, I mean, hundreds, thousands, just so many books on here, and they're just there at the ready if you've had them downloaded. I just love it. I just love it, and I'm just so glad also that I'm sitting down to make this, because it has reminded me how much I've read on my Kindle in the last several months, and just that those reading experiences have been so lovely. Yeah, and I don't know, it's not been a shift. I really just felt compelled to come on here and talk about just all of the things that I loved about my Kindle, and to give a little homage to it, because it really has been the thing that I've been reaching for more than anything else. More than a paper book, more than an audiobook, I have been reaching for my Kindle. And so yeah, so I just wanted to come on here and say that. And I also love that there's the Kindle itself, not a Kindle Fire. I've had a Kindle Fire before, and you can access like YouTube on a Kindle Fire. They might have changed the name by now, but there are devices that are more like tablets, and tablets that can do more things: download games, access YouTube, get on the internet in different ways. The Kindle, what's wonderful about this is that it is quite an unintelligent computer device. So it's only there mostly it's there to download books. You're supposed to read books on them, and I cannot access the internet in a different way from this. So if I want to see something that's on the internet, I have to grab for my phone, which is in a lot of ways a very conscious thing. I'm grabbing my phone to disrupt my reading, to look something up or to check something out, or answer a phone call or a text or something like that. And so it's different. So it keeps me less distracted to be on here. And that is, that's something else that I really quite like. It's just like a distraction-free device. And I love it. So please tell me all the wonderful things you love about your Kindle if you have one. Let me know if this is helpful. I just was like, I wanted to come on here and again do a bit of an homage to my Kindle, which has been such a huge hitter in my reading life these past few months. And yeah, that's it for me. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye.